So we've just had a chat with, is it David Silver?
Yeah.
From David Silver Spares, and actually, you know, he didn't make me or John right, really. If we're being honest, what he said was, "You're not going to find a front mud guard anyway." He said,
well,
you know.
He said he might. But
did he?
He said yeah, because they're always going to America.
But he said even then they're bad, in bad states.
Yeah, but what he said is that they're always coming up with new things.
But ultimately, what he said, it's very hard to find all the parts to put this back to original, eh?
He said that you got a bit of a wait. He said, but they'll find the parts.
And then John said, you wouldn't mess with it at all, would you? You go straight back to original. And actually, he said no. There are some sensitive mods people do, and they look amazing and they feel great, as long as you don't chop or ruin anything, and it can go back to standard. Nice, that came off, John.
Yeah.
He said you can do some sensitive mods to this. Now, I mean, this is my main thing would be this, guys. Airbox side panel. Get the plate, the actual plate for the seat. Either attach this seat to that plate so it becomes one piece, or reshape the original seat. And then a very simple bracket that comes out here, a bit like Nat's last one that he's done on his bike. A bit like that bracket, comes out here, holds the number plate at an angle, one little round light. I wouldn't mess with the handlebars, although they're a bit rusted through. If anything, you'd probably put a new set on. And you've created what you've set out to create there, guys. You know, a kind of tastefully modified calf racer-ish usable bike. So I still don't know. There's no answer here for me. The actual next step for me is to get a battery for this and be able to run it and see how it runs. Probably the airboxes as well. So I've not done, you know, loads of filming, but I've done bits and pieces on the bike. Stuff like spraying the side stand, rear pegs are off, but both exhausts are off. I've got the exhaust flange and connector in, some Harpic 10 times stuff, bits of black on the foot pegs, and kind of bits and pieces. I've done the brackets black, and then we've kind of gone down cleaning and polishing this. Look how nice this has come out. And actually tomorrow we'll put another thick coat on that. Rear wheels come out quite nice. Well, we're sitting off the floor a bit more now, John.
That's you polished all the dirt.
Yeah, it's lighter. So even though, I mean, we saw, me and John were very happy with what we saw today. We saw a riding bike. That I've ordered the battery. I've got a battery coming. That's good news. So tomorrow, it should actually come tomorrow. Annoyingly, I pressed buy it now really quickly, and guess who it's coming from? Answers in the comments. Really annoyed about that because I was boycotting them, but if it comes tomorrow, it's helpful. And me and John have literally spent all day debating what we do with it. I'll talk to Nat about the paint. I mean, there's no point until we get side panels. I'll talk to Nat about the paint. And I mean, Nat's offered, and I'm sure he won't mind. And I can slip him a few pounds as well, if needed, of course. Other than that, I stick with my original. Clean it up, original seat bucket with whatever I want to do to the top. Very simple rear end with a number plate, and move it on. I think I have to paint these. These are painted, you see. They're painted, so there isn't anything we could do to them. We could sand them down and try and get a mirror finish. That takes a long time, but we've done it before. I'd probably paint them silver again, eh, John?
Yeah.
Silver again. And this has all been painted before, and that is a bit of an issue, really. At some point, someone painted a lot of this stuff rather than shining it, and really they should have shined it. So yeah, tomorrow I want to get this foot peg off so I can do the same kind of process. I've started cleaning this side of the engine today. These side panels probably should be painted again, because they were painted in whatever engine colour this is, this grey, because they were already same grey that are on the forks. It's probably your best bet, and that's machine would probably polish the crap out of that, but nice paintwork, nice polished side casings. I don't know, we're really in the in-between world, aren't we, as to what we do with it. I'm very happy, for me, very happy we got it running today, very happy to see that. So that's all good. Tomorrow I'm going to continue with this stuff, cleaning it, putting it back together, and just getting it as nice as I can at this stage. We won't paint the engine. People said don't touch the engine with paint. That's fine. Okay, as always, let me know in the comments, what do you think? I think the bits and pieces I'm doing are exactly the right thing. The little bits of paint. What I want is for it to look like a loved used bike. It's not pristine, it's not perfect. It's a used bike that's been quite looked after. We believe the mileage is correct, 19,000. So I think bits and pieces like little bits of black on here, just to neaten it up, clean it up, protect it, and shining the downpipes and stuff. We'll see. I've got some metal bits in the Harpic 10 times cleaner. I don't know if I should keep it in there overnight. I think it'll be fine, but we'll soon find out if we have nothing left when we come back tomorrow. Otherwise it'll be extremely clean.
The next day.
Alright everyone, welcome back. cb200, very happy to get it up and running yesterday. Me and John called David Silver from David Silver Spares, and we had a good chat. I'm not sure if it was him we were talking to, someone called Mark, possibly. But you know, what he said was, you're not going to find a front mod guard for your bike, you're not going to find a rear mod guard. He said what people really like is a sensitively built calf racer out of these. Don't chop anything, don't chop. He said build a calf racer out of it and people will love it, but make sure it's able to go back to original in the end. So and I think he's spot on. I think he's spot on. The more I look for parts, the more it bothers me. There aren't any, there aren't mod guards. I can't even find a universal mod guard yet, but I will. If I have to order one from China, I will. Just a chrome shorty. So I think sensitive calf racer is definitely a route we're going to be going down. I'm in two minds. Part of me wants to get this seat working and secure somehow, because it's here, we've got it, let's use it. And then the other part of me wants to get the base, like I said, the original seat base, and create something out of that. I'm not sure yet, because it's funds, guys. I haven't got, you know, 200, 300, 400s to throw in at this stage. I can do bit by bit, but I can't at this stage. Carbs, I needed to look at the carbs, because I want to get little air filters, little air pods. Now of course people online are concerned about AirPods. I'm a bit concerned myself, but the ones I've seen will come down. They may even be hidden by the panel, which would be perfect actually. This bike yesterday revved well with no air filter at all, so it might be, we never know, it might be jetted appropriately. I don't know at this stage, but I do want to get some air filters for it next week, just to kind of see how it sits. The truth is the air boxes are 100 quid for both, and then it's very hard to get. You can't get the filaments anymore on the inside anyway. People do a weird hacking system where they burn out the old filament and then they put a new one on it using glues and stuff. If I can get this to run on pods in London and be okay, then that's kind of where I'd be going with that one. I'd love a set of side panels. Again, you just can't find them. I've seen the odd left one here and there, but then when you click on it, it's gone. So I genuinely don't know. I do want the two side panels. I do want the two side panels. So in my head, we're going to have a pod filter on each side, a little one. We're going to have the two side panels to cover that area, which will make it really neaten it up. We're going to have a shorty stainless or chrome mud guard, and then we're going to have a very simple rear bracket that's going to hold the black and silver number plate, and a very, very simple rear light. That, in my head, that's the bike I'm doing. I'm calling it a mild sensitive calf racer. Other people might call it other things. We're not going back to original. It costs too much. I haven't got the patience, the tools, the time to be pulling engines out and cleaning and painting, or not painting or polishing. I want to create a bike. I want to save a bike. That's what my channel's about. I want to save the bike, get it back on the road. If anyone wants to pull the engine out and polish it, I'll be selling it at a reasonable enough price for them to do that. Front forks are probably going to go black. I don't think I'm going to paint the tank. I think I'll touch up the black areas as best as I can with a simple paint pen, and then I'll buff it lightly. I don't think it's thick enough to do too much, and that's it. So that's in my head my design. The exhausts are off. I wanted to give them a good polish. I want to give the downpipes, the headers, a good polish, and bit by bit I'm doing a bit, bits. Like the black on there looks so much better. I don't know if you'll see it on camera. Then these kind of patchy bits here. So I'm doing bit by bit. I want to drop this one and give it some paint. I'll do some of the rust clearing from bits like this, and that's it really. Just a sound comparison. Alright guys, so quick update about the WK. I ordered a head for it, a second-hand head from a company last week. In fact, last weekend. We're now Saturday. This would have been Saturday or Sunday last week. And apparently it was sent out on Monday, apparently. And then on Thursday I messaged the guy and said, what's going on, Where are my parts? And he said, oh, I've just contacted the shop that I sent it to and they forgot to send it. It's still on their shelf, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to send it next day. Friday come and went, and I messaged him and said, what's going on? And he goes, oh, yeah, there's been an issue. Basically, I had a bit of a go at him and said, look, when you use crap like Hermes and Every, which is the same company, by the way, guys, they had to change their name because their record was so bad that they had to change their name to get away from it, which they didn't anyway. So anyway, yeah, he's really let me down. And actually, he's quite aggressive. So he says, I said to him, look, this isn't looking great for your feedback. I just want my part, And he says, yeah, well, I'll write under your feedback that you're a bad customer, blah, blah, blah. And when I looked on his website, that's what he does. Anyone who says a little complaint about him, he writes underneath and he says, this customer's whatever. So, really annoying. I mean, I just don't, nowadays and age, I just don't like waiting 10, 11, 12 days for a part when you can use Royal Mail and get them 2 days later. Really winds me up. Other update is about the mopeds. And I say this, in the politest way possible. People are idiots. Absolute fools. The advert is clear. You're getting both bikes. One's a good runner, needs bits and pieces. The other bike's for spares. They cannot work it out, guys. Like, for the life of them. One guy messaged me. He goes, all right, bud. How much for both bikes then? And I was like, read the advert. Read the advert. Yeah, all right, come on, how much for both bikes? And then I said, they're both 350 quid. It's an advert. It's all for what's in it. It says clearly both bikes. And he goes, all right, I'll give you 180 for both. So he come on knowing that he was going to negotiate over the 350. And then when he found out he got an extra bike thrown in, he dropped down to 180. And basically, people can't work out the spare bike. This is my plan. I'm going to pull out the second bike today. I have dropped all the adverts. People just can't work it out. I'm going to get the front brake done. That won't take 5 minutes using both bikes. So it's going to have a front brake, a rear brake, start, run and ride. I'll check some of the lighting, but not all of it because I haven't got the time. And I'm going to put it back up as a single individual bike with no spare parts. You can bet then people will be messaging me saying, where's the second bike? But I think people in their heads can manage, here's a single bike, it needs bits and pieces done to be put back on the road and a logbook, rather than here are two bikes. So there you go. So I'm going to pull them out now and just get the front brake working on the better bike and get an advert up for that, keep it simple. And then the second bike can go spares or repairs, or I might even break it myself, or if Hassan gets himself together, he can come and pick it up.